All right, so it's 7 a.m. What is today? The 30th? January 30th, 2026. I about like 5, 6 days of production on uh priesthood practice makes priesthood, and I want to run the project real quick just to show you a little of what's happening and then tell you what I plan to do. So first, you spawn in this area. I'm gonna get a little further away because my mic setup isn't good right now. You're in a graveyard scene. This is the house you will keep your belongings in, or whatever. It is a graveyard. I only have 2 graves right now, but that will serve a purpose. I I could add more. No, 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 no. Brief, just a brief going. I use shaders, make the waterway back and forth like that. I prototyped all the walls. I need to get you need to get a vibe first. The grass though, I spent a longer time making this path, this grass. I used my own textures for all the different kinds of textures. Those leaves, those are Pez from a Pez dispenser. This grass, the texture underneath the models, that's from a cat toy. So is this road. The water, there is technically a texture here. It is the picture of blue. It is a picture I took of blue Gatorade in a mason jar. I drew that in MS Paint. You're in this first area, and then you can walk further into the woods. Right, you go through a deep path. You spawn in and you're in the middle of the woods and you encounter a couple zombies and maybe even a skeleton. There's a random chance as to how many skeletons will spawn, and all mobs have a small chance to spawn recolored. I will change this to be something different in the future other than just recoloring it, but what you can do is pick up any mob you find and carry it around with you. That is the basic forest scene that I set up for you to be able to return from. Pick it up and just plop it back down. Walk over to anything, pick it up, maneuver it as you wish, put it back down. They have wandering AI right now, which kind of just picks a random position around them. You can't push them through walls exactly, or at least most of the time it doesn't look like it. And even this way, it still places it behind you. It can't quite go through the wall. And so let me take this zombie with me. It has a slight recolor. I'll take it with me, and we'll go back into the main area. That right there where you see my technique, instead of having nav mesh, is kind of just have their wandering AI be random locations and then have uh, a collision wall on a different layer that they cannot walk past, because they cannot walk past that layer. I call it the playpen technique. Anyways, I go back through the black box and it brings me back here. And what I can do with this thing now is obviously I can place it down. What I can also do, store it inside a gravestone. It'll stay there, and now this is a creature capture game. So you'll want to find rare variants of creatures. Even there will be rare creatures. Already the skeleton is more rare than the zombie. You'll probably want to keep that more than you'll want to keep the zombie. And so for however many gravestones you have, kind of like Pokeballs, you can keep these creatures. You go and go back, still there. Should always stay there. You just there's a green zombie, but I'm gonna fish for a recolored skeleton. Go in and out, and it respawns different mobs every time. If I were to take a zombie and put it out here, and then leave, and then go back in, and I'm now realizing, God damn it, that there's one single issue right now with the system I'm using. I'm gonna restart it real quick. Bear with me here. I planned to demonstrate it at the end. I did not realize it was happening to this effect. And to fix it, I'd have to redo everything. I'll just take a normal skeleton with me. Might be recolored. I don't know. It's set to change to a completely random color, so it might have just decided to change to a very similar color to how it is originally. Oh yeah, and also the gravestones actually technically exist everywhere. I forgot to sink them into the ground. Either way, give me this zombie so I can get this over with. And I can indeed place multiple into gravestones. What you can do is you can pick them back up. The one issue I'm having right now is as soon as I drop anything, it comes out of the gravestone, and I also don't have a way to put it back in the gravestone. The only way to prevent me putting multiple in the same one was to have a variable that just updates to true. It's not. I would. I know exactly how I'd fix it, but it's not exactly possible with the current system I have. This was all just a prototype of few things. Obviously not the final terrain. Obviously not the final, pathing AI. Obviously not the final sprites. But I think this is a good prototype. A good end to what is, I think, the first prototype here. A bunch of the basic systems. Now I know how to build them better from the ground up. Because it's not going to be easy, at least, to implement dropping them again with the current system I have set up. I'd have to rewrite. I would really have to rewrite all of the like reparenting code. Picking something up is reparenting it to your character, to your like camera. Then dropping it is just reparenting it to the main scene. That's all it really is. Setting the position to 0, reparenting, and then keeping the global position and then reparenting to main. That's what I have for this prototype. I like it. I know it's unimpressive as it is, but I mean it's the first kind of thing I've actually prototyped. All my other devlogs have been let me spend like 5 hours on Godot and make a single thing work in a kind of shitty little atmosphere. And this is actually I have a I built a terrain. Took me longer than 5 hours. I'll tell you what. And it actually does something. Something that honestly, I mean, you can already kind of play something here. It's called Can I Get 2 Rare Skeletons in My Graves? There's one right there, a green. I believe it's a 1 in 10 chance to be shiny, and then there's also a um it can spawn 0 to 2 skeletons every time I go in. Just there's 2. And it will spawn 5 zombies that also have a 1 in 10 chance to be colored. I specifically had to set the player to be looking away from the door. That actually took me a while. Everything took me longer than I wanted or thought it would. It's a good thing to learn. I guess while I look for this, I'll talk about what I'm gonna try and do next. Well, what's my next prototype gonna look like? Well, I'm gonna rebuild the entire project, obviously. I have a lot of the scripts now. They'll probably work to some extent, but I will rebuild them to work with new systems I have in mind. New node hierarchies, essentially. really the only reason the whole dropping thing with the gravestones doesn't work is because the creatures are not in the same scene as the gravestones. I get they're all in the root scene, but like the area that detects that you're next to the gravestone and the area that detects if you're next to a mob are nested inside of different scenes. So I do not know how to access one scene from that far out from another. I think UML diagrams is a useful thing to have when taking that into consideration. I'm going to rebuild it from the bottom up and maybe create different enemy AIs, kind of track. So the whole point of the game is going to be solve puzzles based on the enemies like hating each other, specific types of enemies chasing each other and stuff. So being able to run away from something and not just randomly navigate will be essential at some point. Or redesign the map and actually create more than, create more rooms, make a less. Yeah, you saw that lag every time I went through here, how it all freezes there for a second. That's literally all just, I mean, two things. One, this, I mean, this grass, I suppose, a multi-mesh instance. But also this collision shape, which does not look like it should be this many. That's what's screwing it over, as well as the grass that has the same exact stuff, just as many polygons, so it has to do it twice over. I'll make sure to optimize my environment. And everything is gone. Oh boy, can't I wait to make all of this, cause what in the hell? Alright, bye.